Hi guys, and welcome to the horror room. So, we're here for another pickup video. Uh, Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I had to build up this one because I was getting scraps here and there. But I said, you know what? I think I've got enough now to make a little decent video, little midweek special for you guys. Because I figure this is not a meaty enough thing to upload on a regular day on Sunday. So usually I'll try to put these out on a Wednesday or Tuesday or something, just as I can. So yeah, I would love to do these every week. I'd love to be finding movies every week, but obviously I don't need to, and I'm about to do that convention, so I'm trying to not, go out and buy all the tapes that I'm looking for right away because I still want to have fun at the convention, and that's not until the end of August. But let's talk about what I picked up. I got some VHS and some DVDs, so let's get into it. First off, I found this movie called The Ghoul. It's unspeakably evil. It lives on human flesh. Um, Now, the only thing that I don't like is this price sticker. I was trying to peel it off because I got this at a flea market. And as I'm peeling it, it starts to rip the case. Like, I can actually pull it down and show you a little bit. But I don't want to do too much. Like, yeah, it's... I get it. You got to price your tape. But, why is the side a problem? Like, obviously, if I see a sticker on the side, I'm like, oh, that's a price sticker. I'm not gonna be like, oh, there's no price, it's free. Um, so now I've got some, VHS style stickers. Let me see if I can find one of the ones I stuck them on. I can't. But yeah. So I'm getting more. I'm gonna have to just use one of those to cover it. It's not gonna be perfect, but even if I don't, it's fine. It's not going anywhere. But this is a movie featuring Peter Cushing. Yeah, and so it's an older movie. Kind of looks like a. I don't think it is a Hammer horror movie, but it's kind of definitely that era. Scream Gems. The Ghoul. Yeah, I'm holding this tape all fucking sorts of weird. Then we have another Peter Cushing one, but this one has Christopher Lee in it as well, and that's called The Gorgon. Definitely love the cover art. It definitely gives me big Clash of the Titans vibes. If you've ever seen that, Medusa in there was actually pretty cool. And there's just something about this hand drawn art. It also kind of reminds me of the Faces of Death movies because the company that puts those out is called Gorgon, and they have a cool Medusa label or logo. And I'd love to get a shirt of that. I need to look that one up sometime. Maybe see if I can print that. Then I went back to my little hot spot here in town, and this time I didn't take any things to trade. I said, you know what? You got a business like this, you got to go show some love. You got to show some support. You got to spend cash if you want these places to stick around. So with that in mind, I went there, grabbed a few tapes. This is one that he threw me extra for free, and I was really glad to grab it. It wasn't in the best shape, but that's probably why he said, you know what? You can have it. The Omen. I love the classic movie, and it's that classic CBS Fox box. Now the only thing wrong with it is on the front. It looked like somebody wrote their name or some shit, and he's like, hey, just use a magic eraser. It'll probably come right off. And I did that, and you can tell the the start, like the ink and stuff from the cover art was coming off. So I said, you know what? I'm not gonna risk it because I don't want to blur. I don't want to lose part of the image of the infamous poster just because there's a little bit of text that I can ignore. And I did try and use a little bit of Gugon, but I didn't want to use too much because I was like, if the magic eraser is doing this, who knows what that would do? It's fine. It's fine. It works. I can still watch the damn movie. So then I got Darkman 2, The Return of Durant. Now, I don't think these movies are technically horror. They might be more action, but they have horror elements. And I already got the trilogy on DVD. I have the first one on Laserdiscs. Now I have a way to watch the originals in a lower quality format, if you will, or in an original style, if you will. So I can watch the first one on Laserdisc, and I can watch 2 and 3 on tape. And, I got them on DVD as backups. So I like that. Next, we have a Wes Craven movie. Now, these next two really caught my eye because the condition they're in, perfect. We have The People Under the Stairs. That is a great, iconic cover. This is a movie that not a lot of people bring up when they talk about Wes Craven movies, but I do remember liking it a lot. And it is more of a thriller, I would say, than a straight up horror movie, but it's pretty good. And I mean, look at this. This is immaculate. Great condition. And there wasn't a price sticker on it, so I got a fair price on it. Same with this one, and this is another one. It's not perfect, but I'd say it's in pretty good condition. And that's The Serpent and the Rainbow. That's a pretty cool, creepy cover. And this is another Wes Craven movie that, doesn't get talked about enough. It involves like voodoo and stuff. Yeah. So I'm glad to have those because, you can never have too many Wes Craven films. But you also have to have your fair share of Tobe Hooper films. And I recently got Eaten Alive, and this is one that I found out about, and I was like, oh, I've never heard of that. And the cover art definitely caught my eye, which you will see in a second. And that is Tobe Hooper's Night Terrors, starring Robert Englund. Holy shit. Snakes coming out the eyes. Now, the back definitely gives me like some, France, whatever. I mean, it's based off the Marquis de Sade, which, if you know who that guy is, he's pretty crazy. And, of course, Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger is playing him. But, come on. That's great. That's great cover art. And I tried to remove this sticker as well, but it was being real stubborn, and I was worried about the cover, so I said, you know what? Yeah. And like I said, if I get them little rental stickers, I can just throw that on there. Boom. Looks nice. And last but not least, I found a couple DVDs at one of my hotspots. Now, one of the ones I bought was in the horror section, and after watching it, I was like, there's no way this is horror at all, even though, people die in it. And it has Clint Howard in it. But it's a movie called The Wraith, and it also has a young Charlie Sheen in it. And it also has, what's his name? Randy Quaid, or Dennis, it's one of the two. It's the one from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Cousin Eddie. Yeah, it's basically like your typical vengeful spirit going after those who wronged him. And it kind of has like a car racing element, and Clint Howard has the Eraserhead hair in it. It's ridiculous, but it was a lot of fun, but it was more of an action movie. Kind of reminds me of Death Proof. Like, not exactly like, but with cars and stuff. But I would consider Death Proof more of a horror movie because it does have some horrific violence in it. This one, it was just like, oh, they'd crash the car into the Phantom car and it would disappear, and that's it. But it was an entertaining movie. I liked it. The characters were fine. Yeah, so I don't regret getting it, but didn't think I needed to include it in this video, but I just thought I'd mention it. What are your guys' opinions on The Wraith? Is it a horror movie? Is it action? Is it both? You be the judge. Picked up a couple more Stephen King movies. Now, this is one I remember not liking at all when I saw it. And I've kind of wrapped around to that point where I'm like, you know what, maybe I should give this movie a second try. And this quote on the back says, it oozes with horror. So, Miami Herald could be onto something. Worst case scenario, if I watch it twice and it sucks, whatever. I didn't pay that much money for it. You got some great names in here. Morgan Freeman, Thomas Jane, Jason Lee, Donnie Wahlberg. I'm talking about Dreamcatcher. That's right. Now, if you know why this movie definitely turned some heads and wasn't as popular. But I said, you know what, I'm going to give this movie another shot. Maybe now that my tastes have matured, maybe there's something in this movie for me. Or maybe I'll just get a laugh out of watching it again going, wow, I remember why this movie sucks. But like I said, I've been on a Stephen King kick, and, it's another Stephen King movie to add to the collection. And with that in mind, I also got Stephen King's Silver Bullet. I don't think I've ever seen this, and I'm not the biggest werewolf fan, I'll admit. But you know what? He's done vampire stuff pretty well, so it's like, why not try the other side, the werewolf side? Because, Usually that's the opposition to vampires when you're talking about it. I still don't have it. I gotta get it apparently. I probably will eventually get it on tape and DVD. Just the original. I have no interest in the remake at all. At least the original, I can recognize that it was a huge thing for Stephen King fans at the time. It probably is a little dated, but it's got some good actors in it. It's got some great, memorable scenes in it. I should eventually add it to the horror room. It deserves to be here. If The Shining can be here, and I didn't like The Shining at all, but again, I'm gonna give it another shot. Then definitely it deserves to be here because I'd say it is more horror themed than The Shining. Um, Lastly but not least, we have a movie that I was waiting to get the more violent cover. Once I say the name, you'll know, and that's Driller Killer. But we have this weird low res looks like it's hand drawn artwork of the creepy driller killer and stuff. It's got the infamous head drilling scene picture on the back. I probably could show it, but I'm not gonna risk it. And if you look up the artwork, you'll see that infamous cover with the guy's head just getting drilled into, and there's blood everywhere. And I'm like, that would look great on my shelf, but I'd rather it be a VHS of that because obviously that's going to catch your eye, and that's the whole point of the VHS era. But I think these were some pretty decent pickups, and this one definitely scratched my VHS itch. I definitely am excited to watch this. I want to get a bunch of these, types of horror movies that are a little weirder, a little more obscure. I thought this was an anthology film when I bought it, but it's not. It's a full movie, and it's by Canon, so that'll be fun. But hey, got some good stuff. Definitely got some more interesting stuff coming. Well, not more interesting as in like these are boring, but some more exclusive boutique stuff coming in the mail. So when I get those in, I will definitely be talking about those, as well as a movie that came out pretty fairly recently, that I've seen, but I do want to highlight, why I think you should watch it if you haven't yet, and give it a shot. And then maybe like we'll do a video eventually where I talk about some of the upcoming movies and my thoughts on them, or talk about some other movie experiences I've had, like talk about the Halloween, the Gordon Green trilogy. Woo, everyone's done that. No, I don't know if I want to do that. Right now though, I'm just enjoying waiting for that convention. Can't come soon enough. I have some more video ideas in mind, but those will be for, main days on Sundays. That's when I upload. If you get a middle of the week video like this, just consider it a nice little bonus. And I'm not going to do videos for a week, hopefully, for a while. I'd like to save those for special occasions. So yeah, thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this, be sure to check out the shorts and the posts. Sometimes I do some stuff over there. Share this page around if you like what you're seeing and you want to show some other horror fans. I'm definitely appreciating all the new people that are subscribing. Anybody who, posts a comment or, just interacts a little bit. I mean, I know sometimes it can be like, haha, we're trying to get your money. But obviously this isn't a huge channel. And if this channel ever does become huge, obviously I'll try to treat you all with respect and, do what I can. But even if, that never happens, I'm just happy to share my love of horror and all this cool stuff with you guys. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.